Good morning and welcome to Gray Man Walking. Today is day 104. It's 50 degrees, 7 o'clock. Plan today is walk as far as this trail will let me. And see how far that is. I got about 2 days to get to Delaware Water Gap. Saw my first porcupine in my entire life this morning. Heard some little feet pitter pattering across the campsite. And I kind of looked out over the side of the hammock. And here comes this porcupine out from under. I was expecting a chipmunk or a squirrel. And I made a little noise and he took off, but never seen one before in my life. All right, enough of that. It is time to walk. I think I misspoke this morning. It's 3 more days to the Delaware River Gap. I think I said 2. Still it was about 45 miles when I left this morning. So about 15 is all I'm guaranteeing for these rocks. I think I did 17.7 yesterday. And I had to go pretty good ways downhill to get water. It took a little extra time. Water's not really plentiful. It's adequate, but not plentiful. They're calling for some rain to move in today. I'm not sure how these rock scrambles will be wet and with one pole. I tell you, I feel funny this morning trying to maneuver with one pole. Mostly I've been carrying it and just trying to walk on my 2 feet, but I was awful used to those 3 points of contact. A lady in this area, it goes by Mary Poppins, had just left a cache of water and Pepsi's beside the trail. I got a little bit of water and a Pepsi, and it's just very cool how people look out for us out here. They hikers themselves, most of them. And some of them know where the dry spells are, and they devote a lot of their time and energy and money to making sure the hikers are okay out here, and we certainly appreciate that. I was laying there in the hammock last night. It was somewhere around 10. And I heard, or saw, I guess maybe the light first, a hiker was walking through. And it's not for me to say what other people like to do, but I would not want to be out here walking over these rocks in the dark, just depending on your headlamp. But I ran into his buddy this morning. But he told me that the other guy just loves the nightlight, so each his own. Old Gray Man's gonna walk in the daylight unless something bad goes wrong. A little hazy, but that's the view we have this morning. I think they'll be looking at the Lehigh Water Gap. There's a tunnel down there. I just walked over all that traffic. This is a little different looking. Not sure why the vegetation is so low up here, but it is. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And climbing up out of Lehigh Water Gap was no joke. Had to stow my remaining pole. And that wasn't rock scrambling, that was rock climbing. And, you don't know. I'm not fond of being on the edge like that, but I kept my back to the downhill and just looked ahead. So I actually did all right. I sent a picture to one of my buddies I know. He said I probably won't see anything like that again until New Hampshire. So I hope that's accurate. That'll be good. Yeah, that's pretty sketchy. I don't think you'd want to do it if it was wet or bad weather. There is a blue blaze, but y'all know I'm after connected steps on the white blaze. Anyway, that was my first little test. I'm still here, so we're gonna call that a win. When I was walking off the mountain towards the Lehigh River Gap, there was a short section of trail that had been rerouted, and so it was new. And they had actually placed the rocks in ways you could walk on them. They had graded out some trail. Pennsylvania had shown that Pennsylvania could have trails you could walk on. But that was only probably not even a mile. And they probably got 100 miles that needs to be fixed. But after I got up on this side, I've seen several places where they've worked on the trail and made it better. They've even looked like they've broke up some of these rocks, kind of made gravel and filled in some holes. So I wouldn't want the job of working on Pennsylvania trails, but I've seen evidence of what can be. earlier today. I was over on top of that mountain. It's funny how far he can walk, even after climbing up those rocks, cliffs. Here's an example of something they've done to get across this little rock pile. They've actually laid out the rocks. You step right on them. We've just not seen anything like it. Not a problem. Alright. I'm picking on Pennsylvania too much. All right. Another AT day is in the books. Did 18.3 miles. Got about 26 more miles left to get to Delaware Water Gap. So that should be a normal day tomorrow, and then a shorter day the next day. May look in trying to get a room and celebrate the conquering of Pennsylvania. But we won't put our carts before the horse. Got to get there first. Climbing out Lehigh Gap had my full attention. I had to stow my remaining pole, and basically it was rock climbing. There was a couple times I was on my knees crawling, but got up okay. I never did get that pole back off of my pack. I walked the whole rest of the day without it. So that was interesting. I'm completely out of water right now. I've camped near a spring, but it's a 0.4 walk down to it. I'm contemplating whether I'm going to do that walk in the morning. If I go out to the road, there's a possibility that somebody has cached some water at the road. But I also talked to a shuttle driver today who was picking up another hiker. He's got a couple oddball poles that I could call him, go check out his hiker box and get some water that way. So we'll see. Another good day. Making progress. Heading north. Alright. We'll do this again tomorrow. Good night, everybody.